Any questions this morning before we start? We can chat before the meeting starts. If you have any questions for Rahul or I this morning.
So one question I have is, do we need water today for soaking food? No?
Right. The tools you will need are a foot soak bucket, water in a jar, okay, some salt,
Okay.
and a towel or like a paper towel. Okay.
Okay.
That's what we'll need. Those are the tools we need. And some people like to bring a candle.
And does it matter if it's a cold water or room temperature water or hot?
Well, the science of it is that if you know that you are more right-sided and forward thinking and pushing and very active, then it might be better to have cooler water. But if you are sort of depressed and sort of sluggish, then hot water is fine. But whatever relaxes you is really the best, because then you're not focused on if your feet are cold or hot.
Okay. Yep. Thanks. And is it same on every Sunday? Every Sundays?
I'm sorry. Can you speak up a little, Krishna? Because it's hard to hear you a little bit.
So I'm asking, like, is it same on every Sunday so that I prepare myself before I join the meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Thanks.
We usually do a foot soak, and before we get started at the top of the hour, we have chatting, and then we do our foot soak, and then we do a little bit of teaching, and then a little bit of meditation, and then some questions at the end. What else was I going to share with you this morning? How this works is that if you share your email in the chat, they'll be sure to help get you on some lists so that you're resourced a little bit with all the handouts and everything, and connected to the people you need to be connected with. We have Sahaj centers all over the world, and the more that you're willing to share who you are and where you're from, the more we can connect you with the local group that's there. So that's something you might want to consider doing. I know that some of you are shy, and we will not call on you specifically or anything. You can just meditate and relax. So get settled and get comfortable in your space. Is anybody else real new today? I think we had somebody who was referred as new. I mean, somebody who has never been to one of these sessions. Any other questions? I'm Lisa McCoy. I'm based in Arkansas. I'm very happy to teach this class once a month. I've been in Sahaja Yoga. I've been practicing for 30 years, and I really enjoy getting to know you, and would really like to have this be a kind of a interactive class, but we're not quite there yet. I've gotta stick on this topic, and then we'll work on that, getting it to be more interactive. But this is your chance to ask some questions before we start, if you're curious about anything, or if you want me to. The topic today is going to be Nabhi chakra, which is at the stomach, and heart chakra, which is at the chest. Yeah, okay. Rahul's asking you, if you're new, to let us know if you're new to this side room, this breakout room. This is for the intermediate people who have been coming along and are ready. They've already had their self-realization, and they've come to a couple of introductory meetings, and then they're ready for more knowledge. But we have some people who have been coming a long time, and we have some people who are just brand new to this whole thing. So does anybody have any topics about Nabhi or heart that they want me to be sure and check in with you all about? You can put them in the chat, or you can tell me. Okay, good. Well, I'm excited about this class because, oh, what was the question? The question was, do you have any topics related to these two chakras that you would like us to cover today? Because we have prepared our session, but I always like to know if anyone has any curiosities before we start. I'm looking in the chat. Okay, don't see anything yet, but we'll get there. Now, can all of you feel vibrations? Okay, right and left heart, relationships between mothers and daughters. Yes, we can talk about those things for sure in this session. And Rahul, if I forget, then please let me know what we're going to do about that. I think we're just waiting. We're supposed to wait 5 more minutes. Rahul, do you want me to introduce more, or do you want me just to wait till the top of the hour to introduce?
Yeah, we have Petra is joining first time, so probably she would like to know more about the footsoak and how to raise Kundalini. So it would be great if you can introduce those to her.
Okay. So in this session, we will be foot soaking. And Rahul, I think there's a slide or some slides in your slide deck that show that. We were talking about the equipment that you have to get ready for this. It's like a 15-minute exercise or a 10-minute exercise. What we're going to do is we're going to be sitting. You can see the picture in front of you. We're going to be sitting in our same chair, or you can scoot back from your computer. You get a bucket that you don't use for other purposes, put water in it up to the ankles. Throw some salt in the water. Any kind of table salt, you know, I have my table salt here. And it can be warm or hot water. And we're just going to be sitting with our feet in the water for 10 minutes. And don't do it yet because it'll get cold. We'll give you a heads up in just about 2 minutes. And then we're going to go through this. To begin, for people who do not know it, we will be raising our Kundalini and putting a bandhan. So I'm going to show you, and Rahul, if you could show the slides with those. Okay, good. So we're going to be putting our hands in our lap, right hand over left hand. And then we're going to be rolling our hands like this up. This is called raising the Kundalini. And we tip our head back, look at the hands, and then tie 1 knot like that. And what this does is it raises the energy up. And we're going to do it 3 times. And on the last one, we're going to tie the knot 3 times for the 3 channels, like that, very carefully. And then, because the left hand is the receiving hand for vibrations, we put that in our lap to do the next thing. It's called a bandhan. So with your right hand, you're going to draw a circle around your body, an arc. And then we say namaste to ourselves and to Srimati as we start. The lady in the photograph you know is Srimati. That's what I'm referring to. All right, so we're going to get started here. Good morning, everybody. We just went over some of the beginning instructions for those who are new. And I already told you that I'm Lise McCoy. I'm in basic strokes, I'm a professor and a mother of two. I live in Arkansas. I have been practicing for 30 years or more, probably 40 actually. And I'm very honored to help with this class once a month, but Rahul is your host, and he's the one that will share the handouts after the session. If you will please share your contact information in the chat with him. And then if you cannot hear me, if I get soft, because my voice gets soft, please tell Rahul and I will speak up or turn off my video if the internet gets unstable. And okay, so I would like to just tell you a little bit about some experience that I've had in the past with Sahaja Yoga. How I came was I was living in San Diego, and I think, Rahul, there's a slide where I am sharing some experience with Mother at the beginning. I'm just telling you that my experience with Mother was as a young woman. When I was 25, I lived in San Diego, and I lived with some people who were practicing Sahaja Yoga. And Sri Mataji was touring around the United States, and she would come a couple of times a year. And when she would come, she would give a public program, but then she would also, so everybody could get their realization in the public, like in Los Angeles, she would go to a big theater and give realization to everybody, to 1,000 people or something. But when she would come, she was very kind to us. She would stop by our homes. She would talk to us in our living rooms. So here's a picture of her talking to yogis in a kind of a intimate setting. And then the screen capture of the video shows that she was talking about diet. And she was talking about how, fruit. She went very, very detailed into how we should eat, what we should, how we should help people, how we should sort of work on our meditation techniques. And then she also, she did a lot of cooking. And so you see that picture of Mother from her cookbook called Cooking with Love. Well, these are her recipes that she taught people by hand. She was an amazing cook. She taught certain yogis who had natural talent for cooking specifically, who would come and cook, and then they were able to cook for 1,000 using her recipes. And so when we get together for meditation seminars, some of those same principles of how she would cook and help feed everybody are still there whenever you come to a meditation seminar. So that's my brief talk about my experience with Sri Mataji. And now let's get ready to footsoak. So I don't know, should I have them raise their Kundalini again, Rahul? Or are we okay?
Yeah, let's do if we start the meditation.
Okay, so we're going to start our meditation with our Kundalini raising. And we're going to put ourselves in Bandhan again, and we do this as a group. There's some value to that, to do it as a group. We're balancing our left and right centers when we do this. Make sure your hand goes over your head. And then we bow. And then we take off our socks and our glasses. I'm going to leave mine on so I can see you. And give a bandhan, a clockwise circle with your right hand to the water. I'm reaching under my table where my footsoak bucket is under my desk. And we are going to put our feet then in the water up to our ankles. And our attention always is, we try to keep our attention at the top of the head that was soft when we were a baby. So I always like to have you find that spot with your hand and push down on it a little bit. Just to center your attention there. And then I like to raise my Kundalini up. Just bring it from, I'm pulling it from the lowest chakra to up above, like that, with my attention. And then with our left hand to Sri Mataji's picture, and our right hand to the ground, toward the ground, pointing toward the ground, we're going to clear our left channel. The left channel is the channel that is your desires and collects some of our past. So naturally, it has some of the junk that happened to us in the immediate past and in the long-term past. This channel needs to be clear so that our Kundalini can flow better. And we just ask Mother, please help me clear my left channel. Vibrations are coming into your left hand and they're flowing down to Mother Earth, which is sucking all of the heat out of your system. And then your feet, which are in the water, are interacting with the electromagnetic field in the water with the salt ions. And it's pulling everything out of your system into that was scary or heavy or upsetting into the water there. And so I'm brushing my legs and I'm getting all the negativity out of my legs and pushing it toward the bucket so that your hands can be like sweeping the negativity into the footsoak bucket. Okay, now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to clear the right channel. So with our hand up in the air like a smokestack, our left hand, and our right hand in our lap, we are going to ask Mother to please cool down our very busy minds and right channel. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Hands back in your lap if you like. Feel your vibrations. So today our focus will be on the stomach chakra. So we're going to put our hand on that Nabhi on the left side. And this is the center of our seeking and of our home and family. On the left side is the female aspect or left side aspect. And we ask Mother to please settle our Nabhi chakra and cleanse anything that is disturbing it, any worries, any trouble in the family, don't think about it. Just ask Mother to let go of all those things that are worrying you. For those of you who are advanced, you could use your candle treatment. And we ask for satisfaction and happiness in a sense of security and contentment. There. Shake out your hand. Then your right hand that was collecting the vibrations goes on the vibrations will go then to the Mother Earth. And then with your left hand, you're going to put that on the right side of your tummy. Other hand is in your lap upwards. And on the right side of the stomach, we say, Mother, I surrender, Mother the Spirit, I surrender all of my thinking and my goals and my ambition to you. You drive all that. I can't manage that. Yeah. That's good. That's where your liver is there. Mother, please let me be healthy in my stomach. Let me be healthy in my life. Let everything be joyous and bountiful in my life. Very good, very good. Shake out your hand, move to your right heart, right hand, left heart. On the left side of the heart is the Mother aspect of God. Shri Parvati is the Hindu goddess associated with this chakra. She's the one that is very, very loving and supportive. And will comfort those who are in terror or in trouble. Mother, please put love in my heart. Love and courage. Love and spirit. Then on the right hand, left hand, right heart. On the right side of the heart, we have the male aspect of God, who is like the kingly aspect of God and is known as Sri Ram. Well, there's Shiva and Parvati on the left, and there's Sri Ram and Sri Sita on the right. And the aspect of Sri Ram is that he was a kind, benevolent king. So for men, that's the role model. And sorry, when my chakras clear, my eyes water a little bit. So Sri Ram is the one who's dignified. So that the affirmation will be, Mother, please give me the dignity and the Dharma or righteousness. Okay. So you know that in the center is the courage, right? The center heart. So let's just put our right hand on the center heart and ask Mother for the lion-hearted nature, where we don't fear anything. Shake off our hands and put them on our lap. Feel your vibrations. So this morning I'm feeling the Kundalini go up, but then the Agya chakra needs a little work. Agya is here, forehead. So tip your forehead forward as though you feel humble. And you say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I surrender my thoughts and my ego to the Almighty. Shake off your hands. Put your attention back at the top of your head. Give it some pressure and turn it around to the right. Okay, and shake off your hands and then put your hands in your lap. So now, before we sign off our foot soak, with your attention firmly at the very top center, the sasrara, your attention at sasrara, you're going to feel your vibrations as best you can in your hands. Breathe in, breathe out. Very, very good. Nice work. We bow. And then we would normally tie up, but I want to just keep us tied up right now for the rest of the meeting. So I'm going to give you a chance to come back to earth. Take your feet out of your bucket. Wipe it with your towel. Wipe your feet with the towel. And then go ahead and pour your water, your foot soak water, in your toilet. Can't go anywhere else. If somebody's in there, it's okay. Just leave the bucket out the door and come back. I'm gonna turn off my video.
Var du med och skapa Big Macs första officiella autograf i McDonalds-appen?
Torvalla var en av de första simhallarna som jag började träna i. Spenderade väldigt många timmar där och senare i livet fick jag ju reda på att Torvalla var aktiv. Jag kommer fortsätta träna hela livet. Inte alltid för att jaga medaljer och hundradelar.
Interesting. Do we have somebody unmuted?
Träning behöver inte alltid vara så komplicerat. Ibland räcker det med att bara ta sig till gymmet. Jag tror verkligen på träning för livet.
Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, we're back, everybody. Get comfortable. Okay, I hope that was nice, and if you have any questions about that, be sure to ask us in the background. We'll work on answering you. So I wanted to just tell you that sometimes when you're clearing out, you might burp a little bit in your stomach, or you might, yeah, like your eyes might water or something like that. It's natural. All right, let's go to the next slide, please, Rahul. Okay. So we're going to talk about the connection between the Nabhi chakra, which has to do with home and abundance, diet and health. In this lecture, there's way more to it, and then we're going to talk about detachment and self-care to keep both of these centers well, and then spiritual evolution, how these two chakras work together to help raise us and evolve us. All right, next slide. Nice. Okay, so just a quick review of the Nabhi chakra, which is at the stomach, in the center there, and has to do with the middle finger here on both hands. If you're catching on, if you have heat on your left middle finger, then that's the left side of the chakra. Heat on your right. And then look where it is in the feet. It's on the middle fingers up, but something happened in our evolution where Nabhi chakra is actually the toes in the feet. So they're interesting. This chakra has to do with balance, righteousness, honesty, pure attention, dignity, evolution, and satisfaction. And in the head, it's back here. So sometimes in the morning, if I have a headache, I'll massage my head back there, so wherever it hurts. Okay, next slide. I think most of you have been introduced to some of these things. Then we have the heart chakra, which is at our chest level, and it has 12 petals. Petals are like a flower, you know. The position in the head is at the top, so it's at the same place as the sahasrara. In the hands, pinky finger, right? So you know that you're catching on heart chakra if you feel itchiness, tingling, or heat. And if it's more like here along your chakra line, it's more like probably something affecting you from your family. Yeah, or the collective. So in the feet, it's the smallest toe. And the cardiac plexus, of course, is in the spine, generating out of the spine. And it governs our lungs, and so both of these things together, think about how important the physical organs around your stomach and your heart, they govern your extremities of knees, shoulders, lungs, heart pumping, liver. So a lot of important organs are affected by both of these chakras. And spiritually, the heart chakra has to do with the unconditional love, compassion, gracious behavior, dignified, kind, professional behavior, truth, joy, confidence, no fear. So if you have a strong center heart, you won't have fear a lot. And then positive paternal and maternal relationships. So if you have, like, people sometimes who catch on heart chakra on the right side, their father was absent or strict or died. And on the left, same thing. Left heart sometimes had to do with lack of maternal sort of attention on you, or you lost your mother at a young age. Sometimes when people come back from war, they catch on their heart from all of the horrors that they've seen. So in a sense, that being around people who have died, going past a graveyard, you can catch on your heart chakra. So if you feel your heart chakra catching, go and clear it out so that you won't end up with fear or dread. If you have any questions about heart chakra, this is not completely about this. I'm going to go into depth on some aspects of the way that they both interact. Okay, next slide. So speaking of Nabhi chakra and the heart chakra connection, let's look at home and abundance as themes. So in the red, we'll see these are all about the Nabhi chakra, all of these points here on the slide. But in red are the overlap points with the heart chakra. So your home is loving, secure, and supportive. You keep a clean and dignified appearance. You're peaceful in your relationships. You're aspiring to go at a consistent pace and not rush. You are looking to achieve satisfaction in your job, in your career, or lack thereof. Doesn't matter if you have one. The point is that you are content in your life. You live in moderation, and you're not a materialist. Okay, so people who run after fads, it's not a good thing, you know, to acquire a whole lot of stuff that doesn't mean anything. And we are not the people who practice the Hatha Yoga. We try to live a quality life, and we don't skimp, but we live according to our means. That means balancing your checkbook or taking good care of your finances and not going into debt. The wife is in the role model of being caring and supportive, but she could work. She needs to. Husband is loving and generous and present in his family's life. Shimaji asked us to please aspire to education and being someone in the community, being someone of standing so that we could make a difference. And so it's nice if you go on and you try to educate yourself. And the last point is about when, you know, the typical housewife is the queen of her home. But if you think about the queen of a whole nation, that's the Raja Lakshmi Tattva, meaning the one who takes care of society. So she's the kind of woman who goes to help in the community, and make sure that there's the poor children are taken care of, or if she's working in government, that there are programs for healthcare. So the Raja Lakshmi is the one who looks after the country, and that's true on both sides. Though the king, if you're a leader in your work world, then you're kingly in that role. Okay, I hope that that's pretty clear. Keep going. Let's go. Okay, so I wanted to pause here and just say one of the overarching principles of the Nabhi is that you have to live your life in moderation, not starve yourself, not overindulge in every part of each of those points that I mentioned. So you aspire to be in balance and not overextend, because then you're going to go left or right with your chakras. And then this meme of the 10 commandments are not multiple choice was just something I learned when I was very young in Sahaja Yoga. It's sort of a way to look at the world, that as our society becomes less and less concerned with tradition, there are some things that we believe are are important, and the 10 commandments do figure into Sahaja Yoga, but we also don't drink and we don't smoke on top of those. Okay, keep going. So for Nabhi chakra and diet and health, we recognize that a lot of people in the world have issues with their stomachs, and that can lead to a lot of problems for them. And so, in a sense, we have to be really cautious about what we eat, not to the point of being fastidious and bugging everybody about how we have to have only a certain diet and everybody is wrong for whatever they eat. So it's not a judgmental stance, but we take care of our diet in a quiet and efficient way, getting exercise, avoiding drugs and alcohol. Try not to overeat and vibrate your food. That means give it a bandan before on a plate, or say a mantra. We have a specific mantra for our food that we eat in Sahaja Yoga. I have learned after a lifetime of living that we really need to pay attention to our health numbers. That means your blood sugar, your cholesterol, your weight, and your blood pressure. And if you're not, like you don't know those numbers are okay, start tracking them once a quarter, once a year, if you're really young, till you understand what is affecting those things, and get a good scale that has the digital numbers, not just a, some kind of an arrow, but actually shows you you've lost one part of a pound or kilo, because for the longest time I could not track. I was very fat and I could not track what specific food items were doing to me in terms of weight gain or weight loss. And learning how to do that, all those things helped me a lot, and I lost off the weight. It's okay to be vaccinated, and it's okay to be and it's important to be vigilant about your health care your whole life. There's no shame in going to the doctor and getting really, really, really familiar with where you are. If you can aspire to a perfect health numbers report card, that will be really great for you. Does anyone have any questions about this? Well, if you do, you can put them in the chat. Maybe I'm putting you on the spot. Okay, keep going. So in this chart is very, very, very busy. I'm so sorry. But if you look at I want you to pay attention to the middle column. Excuse me. So we think of food as either heating up or cooling down. That's one way to look at food. Of course, we should be eating nourishing food, but if you are very left-sided, then some of the heating foods will not be too much for you. And if you are very, very right-sided and aggressive and have a tendency toward temper, then you might cut out some of these things as you try to cool down your liver. The chocolate, the cheese, the fried foods, the alcohol, the coffee, these things are going to heat up your liver and cause you to be more temperamental and pushy with other people and sort of be grumpy. And then on the third column, the cooling foods that Shimaji has told us about are in that column. These items are cooling most of the time. So, for example, most fruits are cooling, but some of them might be more heating. So we'd have to dive into that a little deeper, some other lecture. Chana is good for you. Lemons, water, sugar cane, actually, as Shimaji pointed out, was good for clearing out your thing. It could cause you to gain weight, but in essence, it's a detergent, and it does some good at some point, but you can't combine that with lots of thinking. Then you get diabetes. So then raisins soaked in water are a good nourishing thing that will cool you down. In India, they have something called kokum and gulkund. And one thing that whether you're vegetarian or you eat meat, we do need protein to fight the negativity. So if you're vegetarian, you need to pay attention to having the elements of your vegetarian diet add up to full protein. So you combine, for example, beans, squash, and corn together, create a complex protein that will keep you healthy. But if you get no protein, you get weak, and then you can catch on your chakras. We don't tend to go in the sun, the hot sun. We keep an umbrella or go after the sun has set a bit, if we want to go to the beach or something, because it melts the fat in your brain and it's a little bit too hot for you. All right. If there's any questions, you can put them in the chat. I'm not really monitoring chat right now. My screen is completely filled up with the slides. So for both chakras, let's look at the both chakras. So because your Nabhi situation, your home situation, maybe, let's say a person lost their job or got a divorce or something. So they have a psychological wound that makes them unhappy. So Rahul, you'll tell me what that chat said in a sec, okay? And then it's not, you have to try and let go of the things that happen to you in your life and be positive and ask Mother to take all that stuff away and clear your Nabhi and make your Nabhi all solid and fine again. And it's not what you get, it's what you give. You have to be generous and help other people. Don't allow other people to dominate you or stress you out. So you can't get pushed around, kind of a thing. And it's very important not to succumb to negative thinking in any regard. Try to get your thinking to be negative, to be very positive and hopeful. Because even if things are dire, your positive thought will bring about a better outcome. So was there a quick question there, Rahul?
No, there is no question.
Okay.
I have a question, Lisa.
Yes.
Can you give an example of a vibrational thing? It says, throw out old non-vibrational things. Can you give an example of something that's vibrational and good to have?
Yes. So something that sparks joy, and also maybe if you look at it, you get a rush of vibrations. Something that you know is from a very good person, a piece of artwork from a very good person who only meant good for you or in the world. But some people keep things in their house like Halloween skulls or dead plants. Like, okay, so you have raffia and it's an, you know, but that stuff, it's not very auspicious. Like if you keep, let's say you hang some garlic on the wall for a while, it's going to collect negativity because it absorbs it. So then you would toss that out. You would throw out old clothes that don't give you any joy and make you feel bad. Or maybe somebody gave you that piece of clothing a long time ago and you don't need it anymore. Get rid of anything that you're not sure where it came from, because things kind of can attach to the vibrations of the people. Not kind of, they do. I just want to be gentle with you. They do attach to the vibrations of the people who gave it to you, and you can try to clear it out. But if you do it systematically. Clear it out systematically.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Sorry, you might have, I won't, okay, what is that question, please? I can only see part of it. Go ahead, Krishna. Go ahead and tell me your question.
Yep. Thanks for letting me ask. Sorry. So you might have already explained this. I missed that part where, and my question is that at the end of a meditation, we kept our hand on top of our head, and you said like our hand, notice that our hand vibrates. So I'm just curious to know, like, what does it mean? What does it mean theoretically or practically if our hand vibrates?
Okay, so Rahul, did you get all of that? I think it's something about my head,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
the
Yes.
Sahasrara chakra, and placing pressure on your head and
Yep.
moving it to the right.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the significance of that?
Yeah.
Is so the Sahasrara chakra is here at the top of your head. It's like a hole, a fontanelle. And you're putting your hand down on it because this is the part of the hand that's associated with the heart and Sahasrara. And pressing it to massage it, moving it clockwise to the right is the way the chakra moves. And together that will relax and open that center out like this. And it's really true. It really opens the more you work on that.
Today we didn't do that, right? We did not had to rotate our hand clockwise direction. We just kept our hand on top of our head.
Right. Well, the people who might have done this before, I was saying press down, put pressure, and move it to the right. And also you could sit and massage it, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. But my question is like, what is the significance of having feeling that vibration? What is it? What is happens in our internal body? Like, does it mean like we are having a good experience, or does it like means like our chakra is weak or strong and we have to work on it, things like that?
Yeah. Why are we doing that? To open it up.
Yeah.
To make the connection clear from the Kundalini come up and through. Because sometimes all these things will close up, right? The chakras will be closed and we're opening them. So the Kundalini can come. Something else?
Yep, that's it from my end. Thank you.
Letting go of sentimental things. Right. So how I do this is I say, thank you for this cookbook from my grandma. I'm not using it. I'm not using it. I check with my daughter to see if she needs it, but if nobody wants it, I can't carry it all my life. I'm going to let go, and I say, I'm going to take the 4 good recipes out of here. I'm going to say thank you to grandma and let it go. And I mean it. There's a lot of things that we hold on to, but if you think about how much we move in our daily life and how much we're trying to take care of, all of these things are just clutter. You don't need that. You can be free of it because grandma's in your heart. But you have to take it piece by piece basis. I thank it and say, thank you so much. Thank you for enriching me. And I keep the memory or whatever, a picture of it. Okay. Thank you. Okay, next. There's all so much on this slide. Nabhi chakra, foot soaking after meeting with crowds of people. Yes, after I teach, sometimes I can't sleep because I'm meeting with all these other professors and their brains are very, very active and I have to foot soak. The reason I mentioned car here is because for me, your car is part of your Nabhi, your transportation. For example, for a queen in India, the transportation was an elephant. So the transportation is part of the whole thing. And you have to take care of your transportation because it's really important. And sometimes the negativity can hit there. So for different people, the negativity would hit different places. But for me, it was always, oh, if I didn't renew my, tags, or if I was speeding, then I'd get a ticket. And that happened early on in my life, and now nothing happens. So that's because I take good care of that, and I'm a very careful driver now. Just because I know that this is something that I need to take care of. Lemons and chilies can take, like if your heart is catching, you might get itchiness, you might get redness. You might get a feeling of heaviness in your heart. If so, you can put a lemon on next to your picture of mother for a couple of hours, and then you can put it on your heart chakra and when you lie down, and it will pull all that heat. Okay, we're getting kind of to the end of the class, and so for the spiritual connection, Nabhi and Heart, as you go from your Nabhi, which is about sustenance, and you go to your heart is about connecting with your spirit and becoming detached and transcending all that human stuff to be a wise, saintly person. And so that's the connection. This is a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and people who are bound up at the Nabhi, like poor people, they can't get to their sasar because they are so worried about their next meal or their house. And so we have to get, as a society, we need to get everybody fed, everybody housed, and then we can all get to that place of peace at the sasar. Okay, next slide. Okay, so I'm just going to read this through and then we're going to have our last meditation. So achieving self-realization involves a state where the individual's attention is completely enlightened by the spirit. This enlightenment leads to a detachment from worldly concerns and possessions. The individual touches and interacts with the material world, but remains spiritually detached, transcending physical and emotional attachments. And this detachment is not a state of disinterest or apathy. Rather, it is a higher state of awareness where one becomes a spiritual living being. So this is a ChatGPT made a picture of the spirit for me. All right, next slide. Okay, so now we're going to meditate. So let's close our eyes. And I'm going to turn off my video so you can focus. Oh, Rahul, you should have mother's picture on here. So we're going to meditate now. We're going to put ourselves into a state of thoughtless awareness. But first, let's say 4 affirmations. Shrimataji, please let me transcend all of my thinking and mental projections. Mother, I would like to live in a state of complete balance. Would you please take all of my worldly cares and manage them? Thank you. Mother, for all of my life and all of my prior lives, I have been seeking my spirit. So I don't want to worry about things that don't matter in this lifetime. I want to be spiritually free. Please help me to overcome my materialism and my shallowness and see the truth. So now we're just going to meditate for at least 5 or 10 minutes, depending on when Rahul wants to stop. If you'd like, you can put music on, Rahul. Thank you. So now, please check your vibrations to see how they're flowing. If the vibrations are cool in your hands, that's always good news, but sometimes we can't necessarily feel that right off the bat. Sometimes there's a delayed effect that first the heat is coming out, and later on in your day, you'll feel cooler. And now, just for 1 minute, I want you to ask the Kundalini to please put you into such a deep meditation that you've never experienced before. You won't fall off your chair, I promise. Now put your attention at the very top of your head and think of that Sahasrara channel from your brain, from the core of your brain to the top of your head as like dolphins have. It's like a hole, the vibrations pouring through it. Put your attention inside of that tube. Okay, we're going to come back now. Raise your Kundalini. Okay, lost count. On down around your body, balancing you, protecting you for the rest of your day. Namaskar to the spirit. Give yourself a lot of credit and love for continuing on. The point is to keep it systematic so that you grow, not sporadic. I love you. Thank you very much. If you want to stay on to ask questions you may.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Rahul. God bless everyone. Have a
Bye,
good-
Mati. Have a
Bye.
good day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
And you. Bye.
Thank you, Lisa. Rahul, Lise, that was a beautiful meditation today and
Oh.
really
Oh.
informed a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. Does anyone have questions?
Lisa, I do have a question if you don't mind. My name is Miriam, and I love when you guide us through these meditations. So thank you for taking the time, especially the workshops. You had mentioned that you have a food mantra. So I'm wondering if you would be wanting to or willing to share that with us. You also mentioned something about taking care of your car, which I'm very stoked to because I'm always very vigilant. But I'm wondering if you would share, are there any rituals, prayers, things that we should be doing with the vehicle or the transportation?
No, but if you think about it, it's just that especially in the United States, cars are out on the road with a lot of people. The traffic is crazy, and your attention goes everywhere. So the only thing that on a road trip we might say a mantra to say the essence of the prayer is that please protect us on this journey and keep us safe. And then keeping your attention, and so that you don't get like crazy with the other drivers and mad at the other drivers. And just keeping everything in order. That's what I meant by that. And then the mantra for food is, Rahul, what do you say about sharing that today?
Yeah, we actually do mantras in intermediate sessions, but we can definitely share the affirmations to vibrate the food. I written it in the chat, but you can tell the affirmation also and how to vibrate the food by our hands.
Right.
Yeah, because
So
the mantras are little advanced, so maybe it is little too early.
Right. So if you guys have been hanging on here a long time and you're ready for mantras, just tell Rahul that you're ready to go on and learn mantras and you really want that. But you have to have been through this a lot until you know all the chakras and everything. All right. So let's see. Anybody else?
Just wanted to say
I have-
thank you.
Go ahead. I think Jackie put her hand up first, or his hand up.
Well,
Jackie?
I just, hi, sorry, my camera and my everything. I have a full house with the internet is kind of not working. So my question is, do you meditate with people sometime? Like do you share your number and connect occasionally? Like, some of my friends might be traveling a lot and I might call you once in a while. Can you share your number to me